Hello and welcome to this little work in progress presentation of my current project, which is especially made for my demo reel because it's the first serious rig that I built, which is completely driven by muscle objects, and yeah, it's one of a big attempt to get into that, and it worked out pretty well. So let's get into it. Let's showing you some of the key features. So for instance, this creature rig I wanted to have it like as production friendly as possible. So I have some levels of details. These go for control rig and also for the rig solving, which means if we start here with the mesh mode, it's currently set to anim proxy, which is really just what it is. As you can see here from the wireframe, it's just the mesh cut in several pieces and parent constraint to the corresponding joints, and that goes down to the smallest possible level. That means even something like here these secondary finger joints. Always this all of this is just to have the most accurate feedback of the animation proxy for the animator, because this is the rig in which you want to do your basic animation blocking. Nothing too fancy here. You want to have very fast feedback of the viewport. No need to play blasting. Yeah, that's achieved with this. So the next is low res. What does low res mean? Well, in this case is a joint only rig. So the skin cluster has just joint influences, no extra meshes into this, no correction blend shapes. So that I have a very, very high performance on this as well. So you see, even in smooth modes, as you can tell from the wireframe, this mesh is in smooth mode. But it's still, if I play this, as you can see here, it runs almost in real time. So this is a very positive aspect of this joint only rig, that it runs very fast. And yeah, the last step is it's the heart of this rig, the muscle rig. So nothing changed here because the model resolution never changes. Would be a performance killer to run a muscle setup on a high resolution mesh or a very high resolution mesh. You can see this model here is 4K faces, so it's fairly low res, but the geometry is placed very wisely. I have all of the required muscle lines there. And yeah, so let me show you this. I'm gonna hide the mesh for now and go to view the skeleton mesh. I placed this even before joint placing Maya joints. So I took a look at anatomy of cat-like animals like tigers and lions, because this creature is something like that, like a little mix of that. I also took a look at human anatomy and anatomy of like gorillas, because this has a little bit of that shape. And based off that information, I placed this bones as accurate as possible, and on that I placed the Maya joints to have the most precise anatomical movement of the rig. So let's view the muscles. Let's view nerve surfaces, and so you see that's a whole bunch of muscles, and they are all attached to this rig. You see, like here we still get some interpenetration with the skeleton mesh and some weird bulging over there, Still need to do some fixes. As mentioned, this is still a work in progress. But if we take a look at the deformations that this rig gives onto the mesh, so let's hide all of this again. Let's get back the mesh and pose it. Let's head to this jump pose here. And let's just go a little bit of face expression over here. And you see the deformation is quite nice. We have some little errors here I need to address. For that sake, I got myself all of the muscle controls I have here, and I can fix this a little by moving the right muscle controls if required. But okay, yeah, the option is there. However, the deformations I get from this as it is now are already pretty good. So you can see here from this leg, you can see here how nice these muscles deform when I move the leg, or how nice the tissue movement of the of those neighbor parts of the body are. So if we let me match the IK arm here to get to the IK. Yeah. You can see we get some pretty organic movement off of this muscle setup, and this is really what it's all about. You can see when I move the arm how nice the muscle bulges, the biceps and tricep, and how good the volume is preserved when having the forearm rotation, and even how far the influence goes up to the upper arm even. So you can see it almost, still has some little bit going on here, and that really gives you that sense of this monster being made of flesh and skin. So let's get to bind pose, phase 2, and yeah, that's about how this is going on now. And I may do some more in-depth look at some of these aspects, like the very interesting secondary joints, which give, for especially on this part, these 4 joints here, they gave me very, very good deformations on the joint-based rig here on the very complex shoulder area, which is even more complex if a character is such a, if it has such a huge shape, such a musculature, and yeah, they did a pretty good job. So maybe I do something on that in a later part. But for now, that's all I wanted to show you. And next steps are going to be to set up a fur setup for this, and to improve the textures a little, because as you can tell, they're not really high res. This is just the texture I quickly made in Mudbox for the fur coloring. So this is the texture that's going to be applied to the fur, but I need to paint extra textures here for these face parts, where I really need some more depth, some more resolution. So that's also something that's going to be done later. And then I also want to try and animate this for the next week or so, and I already got a nice idea. I'm going to present it um, in some days. So until then, have a good weekend and see you next time. Bye.